Data Analytics Hackathon. Okay. All right. Data Analytics Hackathon. Please, you are in for a lot of excitement, a lot of things, a lot of excitement, essentially. So if you're alumni or you're a current student, we're going to be having a lot of fun this weekend. Okay. All right. Just to kickstart the session, okay. Let's get started. Okay. So if okay, your alumni, could you also tell me the program you took? Okay, just put in the chat what program did you take or what program are you currently taking? Data analytics, data science, data engineering, whatever program do you attended or you are attending. Please put it in the chat. Let's get to know. Full stack data scientists, financial analytics, we have data analytics, we have people from financial analytics, data science, data engineering. Okay. Quite a number of people across different platforms, different training programs, which is very great. Okay. Power platform engineering, fantastic. We have alumni, we have foreign students, everybody taking it. You guys are giving me the energy. I love this. We are still expecting more people. We should have at least 700 people on this call. Okay. We should have at least 700 people. At least 700. That's the key word. All right. So if you are ready, okay, guys, this is very essential. If you are ready, you understand what we used to say. If you're ready, can you put a yeah in the chat? Put yeah in the chat. I want you guys to go, like, put it in the chat. Yeah. Let's go. All right, that's good. That's good. I love this. I love this. I'm excited, and you guys are excited also, which is fantastic. It's good to go. We are good to go. All right. So let's go. Don't let us waste too much time on the call, okay? Because there's E for energy, my guy. All right, E for energy. That's amazing. It's good to have you guys around, to be very honest. It's good to have you around. So I'm going to be sharing my screen now so we can get started. All right, so I want to officially welcome you to, I think I confirmed you can see my screen.
Yes.
All right, okay, thank you. All right, so I want to officially welcome you to the 10Alytics Data Analytics Alumni 10Alytics Hackathon. Okay, this is strictly for alumni. A lot of people are reaching out. Why are you not doing the general one? Why are you not doing it for everybody so everybody can apply? No, this is strictly for people that have gone through our programs. Okay, so we're building a community and we're trying to make it, very attractive also to tell people that if you go through this program, a lot of people are scared. A lot of people are still nonchalant to say that, oh, I can't learn this, I can't do this, I can't do that. But when they see what our people can actually do, all right, it will encourage other people to take on the mantle, to start learning, to start improving themselves, personal development, and so on and so forth. So I'm officially welcoming you to the 10Alytics Alumni Data Analytics Hackathon. Okay. So it's going to be a 2-day event. This what we're having today is just for 1 hour, roughly about 1 hour. And tomorrow is going to be the presentation. Anyways, we'll walk through that when we get to that. Okay. But it's going to be a 2-day event. All right. So the alumni data hackathon, okay, we have a cash prize of $1,000 to be won. No, alongside the fact that you'll be learning, okay, and you'll be owning your skills, okay, you'll be working on the real life projects that will be broadcasted every channel on live, on different channels, on the daily newspapers, everywhere. Even though you're getting those recognition, okay, you are also getting a cash award for the top 3 participants. Okay, the people that based on the judges and all that, the top 3 participants will win a cash award of $1,000. All right. So the first position is going to get $500. Second position $300. Then the third position is going to get $200. All right. Like I said, there's too much information to come in. Okay, this is just me creating a preamble to what we're going to be doing today. All right. So in total, okay, we have over 600 registration. That's people that want to partake in these hackathon. We have over 600 people that are registered. We still have people registering. We still have people that will still register. We see the timeline is still open, so we still have a couple of people still registering. So we have over 600 people, not just Nigerians, but Kenyans. We have Ugandans. We have people across Africa. We have people across the world from UAE, Canada, US, taking in this hackathon. And the reason why we're doing this, essentially, to tell you that regardless of boundaries, borders, boundaries, geographical locations. Your skills, okay, in Africa is at par with other skills across the world. All right. So even in the UK, Excel is Excel across the world. It's the same Excel. Power BI is Power BI across the world. So now the key thing is how do you leverage these your skills to solve real life problems? So that's what we're going to be. That's literally why we're doing this hackathon, to make that awareness that you can learn the skill, and you can use the skill to, solve real life scenario problems. All right. So we are currently live streaming on LinkedIn, okay, which we have 10,000 for over 10,000 followers. On Instagram, over 28,000 followers. We are also live streaming on YouTube with over 1,000 followers on subscribers on YouTube. So these are the things that we are doing to create our awareness. So it's not going to just be local, okay? It's literally an international competition or hackathon, okay, for you to own your skills and also put yourself on that global platform. All right. So in terms of media coverage, okay, we have the Business Day, we have TechPoint Africa, we have Vanguard, and we have the Punch that are they're currently on the call. They have representatives on the call that are taking note of everything that is happening. So, when you see your name on the dailies, oh, I was on a did this, I was on a did that, I attended this, I'm a part of this, just basically to create a community or communal way of working together and learning together and growing together. All right. So it's a very big on event. This is our alumni, and we are absolutely proud of what our alumni are doing. Okay, and I'll share some of my personal experience as I go on, because there are so many things that have happened in the last couple of months that has really sort of given us that gratitude of what we are doing. Okay, we do all the work, but now it's materializing. We're seeing people taking up senior position in different organizations across the world, and we want to give these people that platform, that much more. I want to give that more platform to get people to know what our alumni are doing and what they can actually do. All right. So about 10Alytics, I don't need to tell you too much about what 10Alytics is used for, what 10Alytics is doing. All right. We have two phases now. So 10Alytics is growing also. The way you guys are growing personally, we are also growing as a business. Okay. So initially it was just training. So we used to do training for people across the world, in which that's what the programs you've gone through. So the whole essence of those training programs is to help Africans and Black, people of the Black community transition into tech. All right. So the main reason for this is because you see a lot of people relocating outside. You see a lot of Nigerians or Africans, not owning their skills, especially in the tech space. All right. And the main reason why these people don't have access, the main reasons why these people are not transitioning or even having a career in tech is because they don't have that mentorship. They don't have that, that platform that is going to hold their hands and guide them through their tech transition story, okay? Their tech journey, basically. All right. And that was one of the reasons why we started analytics, to hold, people's hand, because nobody held our hands, myself and Adeza, in which you're familiar with, nobody held our hand while we're trying to navigate. And we found it so difficult to transition. So we're saying, rather than allowing everybody follow that same path of making it hard and very difficult for people to transition, why not create a structured learning program and help people, they guide people, mentor people, different people across the world, not just Nigerians, why Africans. In fact, if you come to the UK, you meet a lot of Africans across the world. All right. So it's very essential for us. And that's one of the reasons why we started analytics. While the business continued to grow, we had people, that went through the training program and started working in different organizations. And, there were still some problems with their businesses, with these companies, okay? And these, participants and also the people that have heard of analytics decided to say, do you know what, can you come and do something for us, okay? Come and help us, make sense of our data. Come and help us build this data infrastructure. Come and help us do this. Come and help us do that. Data and client training, data training, data consulting, so on and so forth. And that's birthed the analytics consulting business. Okay. So currently we consult for businesses across Nigeria, across Africa actually, and across Europe. Okay. So we have worked for companies in the UK, we have worked for companies in Ireland, we have worked with companies across Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, Sierra Leone, Cameroon. So doing those consulting work. So we are still expanding. It's a small business, but we're expanding as it should be. All right, so that's the training arm. and that is the consulting arm. Okay, so that's what we do. Okay, and we leverage, the key thing is we leverage people that have experience, deliver this particular solution. From our training to our consulting, we have top set of professionals across, you'll see our judges today. You'll see the kind of caliber of people that we have on our team that work with us, okay, that we leverage in deploying on using, deploying data solutions to these businesses. Okay. So, so we are the founders of 10Alytics. Okay, I have my co-founder, Adeza Suleiman, and myself, Ifemena. So we are the ones that started 10Alytics together. So Adeza, would you want to say hi to everyone on the call?
All right, thank you very much, Ife. Hello, everybody. Good to have the numbers. The numbers are growing, and I think that's pretty impressive, given the fact that we have people watching from other channels because we're streaming live across different other platforms. So I'm very super excited to be here today. And like Ifemena said, of course, we started the business to help people make that transition a lot easier than we did, way back when we were starting. Okay, and for most of you would know me already, except for those who are just, joining in to listening, also get a feel of the experience of being a part of 10Alytics. My name is Adeza Suleiman, co-founder at 10Alytics. I'm a data analytics expert. I've been in the business for the past 10 years, close to a decade, across 5 different sectors, helping businesses, helping companies develop data-driven solutions. Okay, and the work we do at 10Alytics is to help people like you, people like myself, to make that transition a lot easier by giving you guys the technical skills to get into the space and also helping you walk your way towards eventually making the transition easy. Okay, so I think that's just a brief I'd say, and I wish everybody all the best. I'll come back later to give a bit of, what you'll be expecting today and ahead of the presentations tomorrow as well. Ife.
All right, fantastic. You see the kind of people that we have, data, oil and gas to business consulting to, big man. Okay. All right. So myself, my name is Ifemena April, okay, and so it's close to a decade experience, okay, in data. I've been a data analyst, a data scientist, business systems analyst, BI engineer across different platforms, across different businesses across the UK, across Europe, okay, and also Africa. So currently I lead the business data support team of the post office here in UK, all right, and also, that's what I do. Also do a little bit of consulting, training, okay, I've trained quite a number of people across my career, all right, and that's a brief about myself, okay. So you can connect to us on LinkedIn, Twitter, and on Instagram at any point in time. Send us a DM if you have questions or now you're on a transition. You have any question really about, data or any tech related problem, you can always reach out to us. We're happy to mentor you at any point in time. Okay. So our key achievement for 2022 is we helped over 300 people transition from classroom to, to getting their first job in tech. Okay. All right. Okay, so over 300 people have transitioned during our training program. That's what we did last year. Now, key thing is from classroom, meaning that these people had no prior experience into their first job. All right, there are people that transition from, they had experience already, a little bit of experience either in customer service or some other kind of role. All right, and we transition these people. Now, the key thing here is 3 people that don't have experience and transitioning these people into a tech role. Okay, so that's one of our key achievements for last year, and we're really proud about that. And we want to do more this year. So some of our organizations that, some of the organizations that our participants are working with, we have Frasers, NHS, Post Office, HSBC, Cognizant, PwC, and so many more organizations across the world, not just in Nigeria, literally everywhere across the world. Okay, so we're featured in the newspaper last year also. Okay, so some of the features, 10Alytics help Africans across 4 continents land tech jobs. Like I said, that's what we're out to do. That's what we're doing, and that's what we want to continue to do. All right. So we also did the hackathon last year, the largest data analytics hackathon. Okay, but that was open to different people across the world, and we had over close to 2,000 people okay, that attended and also participated also, okay. We're also working with, like I said, Nigerians need to make data-driven decisions. Like I said, we have the consulting arm where we're working with businesses, make sense of their business data and leverage it for, decision making. All right. So, like I said, we did the hackathon. We also did, different news outlets actually carried the data analytics hackathon that's, we held last year. It was around November. Okay. Okay, around December, sorry. Okay, so we have PR Fire that also wrote about it. Okay, they covered the Europe region. Okay, they wrote about what we are doing. Because, like I said, once you start to make an impact, people start to pick it up and start to broadcast it for themselves. All right, so that's what happened. And PR Fire posted, spreading the news basically of the good works that we're doing. Also, like I said, we have the consulting arm where we work with businesses across the world. The most recent one that we did was with 10Up, okay? So it's the Pension Administrative Association for pension businesses in Nigeria, all the pension businesses in Nigeria. We held a session and told them how data can actually be used to improve the pension business in Nigeria. All right. And from there, we're currently working on doing so many other things for pension businesses across Nigeria. And we're still looking at doing more, basically. There's still a lot more to do, especially when you look at Africa as a whole. Okay. There's still a lot more to do. So we are doing a lot and we are still want to carry our alumni along with us. Okay. So we also helped over 300 women get into tech. That was 2 months ago during the International Women's Day to acknowledge that women, there's a low demand of not a demand, but a low supply of women in tech. And we are bridging that gap to upskill women. Okay. And what we did was to grant over 300 women access to premium tech training skills, okay, so that they can also transition into tech. All right. The programs that we offer, we are familiar with it, okay? We have training programs that cover business analysis, data analytics, financial analytics, HR analytics, full stack data science, data engineering, and BI/Power Platform engineering. Okay, so these are the training programs that we cover currently, okay? And you can join from literally anywhere in the world to join this program, attend the program, and transition into tech. All right. So just to give a brief about what we do, our training programs are for 3 months, okay, 2-3 months, okay, depending on the program that you take. And you also have 1 month free internship. So every training program comes with a free internship. The reasons why we're having this free internship is so that you can further own your skills, give you real life scenario-based case studies for you to work on to own your skills, and so that you can easily talk to potential recruiters that you have experience and these are the things that you've used your skills to solve in the business, okay? So our training programs are virtual, like the hackathon that we're doing right now. We have people joining from Canada, US, France, Germany, Switzerland, and across the world, across Africa. And you can see us, still learning together. Okay. So our classes run on the weekends. So you're working professional, it doesn't limit you. You can join during the weekends, learn and easily transition. Okay. All right. So we also have different other things that we do, okay, in terms of so the skills, learning the skill is one thing, okay, but selling yourself is another. Okay. So a lot of people know they can easily learn the skills, but they find it difficult to land the job. And that's because they are not employable because of the soft skills they don't have. First thing is CV. All right. So we do a CV review. We review your CV. All right. We do what we call LinkedIn optimization. LinkedIn is by far the largest professional social network, okay, where people get to recruit, employ people. So if your LinkedIn is optimized, you're likely not going to get called for a role. Okay. So we do LinkedIn optimization. This is getting the job market. You're a new professional looking to transition. We help you, tell you places you can apply for jobs, remote jobs, international jobs, and all those kind of jobs are available for you. All right. We also provide a recommendation and reference letter, job and interview preparation, so on and so forth. I don't want to waste your time with this because you know what we offer already. Okay. So Adeza, do you want to take it up from there? I think this is where that's number
Okay. All right. Thank you, Ife. So
yeah.
I'll just go ahead and
Yeah.
share my slide
Yes.
and then
Okay,
I'll
let me
take
stop
it from there.
sharing.
All right, thank you very much. So again, like Femina has said, over the last few slides, this is not the first hackathon we are organizing. We've had hackathons in the past, and in total, we've held 3 hackathons till date. 2 were for the general public, where everybody had the opportunity to join. And we've had 1 that was for the 10Alytics alumni, the alumni community. And I'll give a brief on what the hackathons were all about. So the first hackathon we held was on the 9th of October, 2021. And this was opened to the general public. We looked at the case study, solving the problem of malaria in Africa. And of course, what we've always tried to do is solve real world problems, okay? So problems across Africa, how do we approach these problems in a data-driven manner, okay? And we had winners. Obina, I remember vividly, came first during the hackathon. We had the second place, we had Ayombide, and we had a tie for the third place. We had Temilolua and we had Rufus. Okay, now let me tell you something very interesting about this hackathon. The very first one. Obina did not just win. He won the cash prize, he came first, but he also got employment on the spot. He got recruited to join one of the largest mobility companies in Africa, Trips, worked with them as a business intelligence analyst, and he got the job right on the spot during the hackathon. So I always tell people that you never know who is watching, you never know who is looking at the presentations you are giving, and you might just impress somebody that would reach out to you. They reached out to us to say, would like to speak to Obina and like to get him on board. That same hackathon, of course, we had about 15 presenters on the final day. And out of the 15 presenters that made their final submission and presentation, we also had 3 more people, apart from Obina, that also got employment opportunities on that day as well. So that was the very first hackathon we held on the 9th of October, 2021. Now, the second was for the alumni community, for those that have registered or was currently doing any of our training program at that particular time. And that was last year, 2022, the 8th of May. And the case study was on solving the education crisis in Africa, okay? Aligned to the SDG goals. Like we said, real life case study, real life problems. How do we deploy our analytics skills to solve those problems? And we had winners as well. We had Kola, who came first. We had Matthew, who came second. And we had Chukwuemeka, who came third. So again, it was a massive event, super fantastic. It was a very good learning experience for so many people, okay? Now, the last hackathon we held, the most recent one, that was in December last year, 2022. So we held 2 hackathons last year. And we also plan to hold 2 hackathons this year as well. So this focused on the health sector, okay, looking at people dying from the lack of medical resources and how can we proffer solutions to solve that particular problem. This was open to the general public as well. And of course, we had 5 winners. It was bigger. This was a much bigger hackathon, the biggest and the largest data hackathon across Africa, about 2,000 participants, and we had 5 winners at the end of the day. Of course, it was very interesting, the fact that we had a lady that came first, and we're super proud, especially because of the work we've also done and we are currently doing to get more women into tech. Okay, it was also one of the hackathons where we had a non-Nigerian, also an African, of course, Kwame. Kwame joined all the way from Ghana, and Kwame came second during this hackathon. So for those of you joining from Kenya, joining from Malawi, joining from Zambia, joining from South Africa, would love you to take this very seriously, participate, let's get your submissions, and let's make it amazing as well. Okay, so this was the last hackathon we held last year. And now this year we have the 10Alytics Alumni Hackathon will be a lot bigger and a lot better. And of course, if Emena mentioned earlier, we are looking at a cash prize of $1,000, but it goes beyond just the cash prize, okay? It's a learning experience. Now, for me, if I were you, let's assume I don't make it to the top 10 that I'll be presenting tomorrow. What I'll do is I would love to see the presentations of those who made the cut. What did they do better? How did they get to the top 10? Okay, I would love to hear them speak. I'd love to hear their presentation. So let's take this as a way of also learning. It's a learning process, it's a learning experience. And like I mentioned earlier, you never know who is watching, you never know who is listening. And then you might just get more opportunities spring up from this particular event. Now, like I said, we are going bigger and better this time around. And Ifemena mentioned something very succinct, which is we are looking at bringing the best to help determine the winners. Okay, we like to collaborate with the best in the business, the most experienced in the industry. And we have our judges. They'll be coming up to just give 1 minute introduction about what they do. And then I'll go on to wrap up the slides and tell you the expectations, what you're expected to do, what the case study is all about, and so on and so forth. So first of all, we have Michelle. Michelle is the lead data scientist of the Lloyds Bank Group here in the UK. Michelle is one of the judges. We also have Sadiq. Sadiq is a smart analytics customer engineer with Google. Sadiq would also be on the panel as one of the judges to listen to you, to see your solutions, to see your submissions. Sadiq would not just be rating you. Sadiq would also be giving you feedback, invaluable feedback, okay, from somebody who's highly experienced working with one of the largest, biggest organizations across the globe. You have Sebastian. Sebastian is an absolutely phenomenal data scientist and artificial intelligence ethics researcher, okay? Sebastian would also be on the panel, phenomenal, judge, giving you feedback, giving you recommendations of what you can do better. So like I said, take it seriously, do your best, make the cut, and come showcase your skills to the world. We also have, last but not the least, we have Olamide, who is the head of data and analytics at Wema Bank in Nigeria. Absolutely phenomenal judge as well, highly experienced, top cream of the crop, giving you phenomenal, fantastic feedback, fantastic recommendations. So we just like the judges, if you can, turn on your video, just say hi for a minute. Michelle, if Michelle is on the call, Michelle, please go ahead. You can unmute yourself. Just quickly do a 1 minute presentation. Tell us about what you do and how you're excited for this event.
Hi, good morning. Can you hear and see me? I just turned on my camera and audio.
Yeah, we can see you, Michelle.
Amazing. Thank you for having me today. Very excited. I'm joining from Central London. And as intro, I work for Lloyds Banking Group. So I'm a lead data scientist there and have been there for the last 5 years. I'm originally from Ireland and I've been living in London in the UK for 12 years. Absolutely love it, as well as being a tech head and working in data. So really looking forward to seeing everyone's results and giving good feedback. And thank you for having me.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Michelle. Super excited to have you on board as well. Okay, can we have Sadiq? Sadiq, if you're on the call, you can just quickly do a 1 minute introduction. Let's get to meet you. I think I saw Sadiq earlier. I don't know if he's still here. Yes, he's here. Okay, Sadiq, I've asked you to unmute yourself. If you can hear me. Okay. All right. If we don't have Sadiq, while Sadiq is trying to sort out maybe his audio or video, let's have Sebastian.
I think you're on mute, Sebastian.
Yeah, Sebastian, I think you are still muted. We can't hear you. We still can't hear you. Okay, Sebastian, I think Sebastian has issues with his audio as well. I guess, Sebastian, if you can hear us, it's likely going to be your mic. So maybe you want to disconnect the headset and that would help. Okay, all right, so Sadiq and Sebastian's probably struggling. That's the issue with technology sometimes, but let's give them some time to come around. Olamide, if you're here, Olamide, if you can unmute yourself, turn on your video. Let's quickly get to meet you.
Hi everyone. Hope you can hear me.
Loud and clear. Go ahead, please.
Okay, fantastic. Good morning, everyone. Always a fantastic opportunity to be in the midst of data analytics professionals. Let me first say a great job to the analytics team are doing. It's actually so important for us to keep on encouraging and nurturing the next generation of analytics superstars. And I just look forward to all the presentations that will come from this hackathon. And just looking to just see great outcomes at the end of the day. So kudos to everyone and thanks for being here.
All right, thank you very much, Olamide. Audio was a little bit distorted, but I think I was able to piece one or two things from what you said. Olamide is looking to see great outcomes, fantastic submissions from this event. Okay, if we have Sadiq, do we have Sadiq available now, or Sebastian? All right, I think Sadiq is good to go. Sadiq, go ahead, please. All right, I think Sadiq is also struggling with his audio. So what I'll do is I'll run through the slides. And
all right, can you hear me now?
Oh yes, fantastic. Go ahead, Sadiq, we can hear you.
I guess this is Sebastian.
Sebastian, okay. All right, Sebastian.
Yeah, funny enough, I've used this to have a meeting this morning, 7 a.m. So I'm kind of surprised what's going on with the audio. Yeah, but good enough that you can hear me. All right, so my name is Sebastian. I'm a data scientist with University of Cambridge, major in natural language processing. For so many of us who participated last year's hackathon, I think I'm a friend to the family. I'm not new, so I'm a friend to 10Alytics at the moment. Yeah, I'm currently based in London, and yeah, part of my work is to look at I'm part of the research team working with AI, ethical side of AI within UK government, and AI Tech UK, in charge of Northern England. So my expectation this hackathon is very simple. I'm here to learn because in the last hackathon I learned a lot, different methodologies, different techniques in analyzing data, and I'm also going to participate hands-on on the research, so that when you're coming to share your insight with me, I will definitely know where you are coming from. So I want you to approach this way, because most times what we data scientists look into is always the accuracy of things without looking at the intelligence side of things. And data is just there for the intelligence bit of it. So if you don't give me the intelligence, if you don't give intelligence out of data, then you are basically just giving an opinion that it's outside of that data. I'm super excited to be here, and most importantly, I'm here to learn. And let's see how we can, drive the future forward. Thank you so much for having me, 10Alytics, and I look forward to all the participants and the insight that they're going to offer. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Sebastian. So just as a side note, Sebastian was a judge for one of the previous hackathons, the most recent one we had. Sebastian solved the problem himself. So guys, when you're solving this problem, know that you have highly experienced professionals on the panel that would also critique what you've done and ask you very intelligent questions. Okay, so be ready for that, and also be ready for the feedback and recommendations you get from the highly experienced judges we have on board. Okay, I'm not sure Sadiq is currently available. Sadiq, I can see that your video is on. Although I can't see you, I can also see you unmuted. If you can speak, maybe we can hear you, Sadiq. All right, so let's move on. When Sadiq comes back on, would likely take Sadiq.
Are you able to hear me now?
Oh yes, we can hear you now, Sadiq. Oh, okay, finally. I have been trying to, I think, okay, good, finally. I was having some issues with AirPods and all that. So, but it's good that you can hear me clearly. So, hello everyone. My name is Sadiq. I am a data and analytics specialist currently at Google. And prior to that, I was working with Microsoft on data infrastructure as well. So I would think I have some bit of knowledge and experience working with data over time, but nothing beats coming into an environment like this, learning with your peers, having some real life problems to solve, and being able to do some research, rack your brain, or not crack your brain, but I mean crack your brain a little bit, just to be able to find solutions and be able to get into the tech side of things. But one thing I also like about this kind of settings is that you're not just crunching code, writing codes. You're also doing the all-round thing, which is not only solving the problem. It's good to be able to solve problems, but I mean also being able to communicate the solution, because we're not building black boxes here. We want to be able to be fair, and I know Sebastian would really leverage his experience around not only building solutions, but are you doing ethical solutions? Are you not excluding people from the solutions you're building? So basically, this is, and maybe I'm giving out a lot of information about what I'll be looking out for, but being able to share what you're doing, what you've presented, what you've, that beautiful solution that you've come up with, and also while doing it with with, at the back of your mind, not going to be unfair to a particular segment of people, and just simply being able to explain what you've done. That would be the minimum that I'll be looking out for in solutions. And I think you all agree with me that this is where the world should be tending towards, how building solutions for all. So I'm happy to be here. This is my first time being a judge on a large panel like this, and I'm excited to join Michelle, Sebastian, Olamide, very experienced professionals in their own industry, doing this with all of you. Thank you for having me, 10Alytics. Thank you very much, Sadiq. Fantastic, brilliant submission. Super excited to have everybody on board. And we are also excited about what would come tomorrow. Sadiq has given a lot of insight into what he wants. Same with Sebastian and Michelle as well. Okay, now what's the timeline of events? What do we expect to get between today and tomorrow? We'll quickly walk you through that so that we all go back to get the work started ahead of the presentation tomorrow. Now, day one, 1 hour session, 11 to 12. So we look to wrap up today's session at 12 noon, and you get the case study. Okay, so everybody who has registered to participate in this hackathon would receive the case study at the end of this session. Okay, so by 12 noon, you can rest assured that the case study would have hit your email, got into your email. All you have to do is open it, look at the case study, look at the data set, and get to work. All right. Now you have 10 hours to work on the case study. 10 hours. So by 10 p.m. later today, that's BST, the British Summer Time, which is also equivalent to the West Africa time. Okay, so 10 a.m., I beg your pardon, 12 noon to 10 p.m. So 10 hours, we will close the submission for the case study presentations. All right, so that's the timeline. Once we are done looking at the submissions, all the submissions we have gotten, you'd receive an email if you make the cut for the top 10 presentations. So the presentations would happen tomorrow, Sunday. So moving to tomorrow, Sunday, the 14th of May, the session starts at 2 p.m. Before this time, you would have received an email from us and a phone call if you make the cut to join to present your submission to the judges. Right? The presentation starts at 2 p.m. and we wrap up all the sessions by 5:45. Hopefully we can wrap up before then. Okay, so we start at 2 p.m. and by 5:45, we are done with the entire process. Now, everybody has 10 minutes to present and 5 minutes for questions and answers by the judges. Okay, the judges would ask you questions, the judges would give you recommendations, and so on and so forth for another 5 minutes. So each presenter has an average of 15 minutes with the judges. 10 minutes presentation, 5 minutes remarks and questions, and so on and so forth by the judges. All right, so that's the series of events that would happen. Okay, by 12 noon, you receive the case study today. You work on it, solve it, submit latest by 10 p.m. 10 p.m. we close submission for your reports and presentations and whatever you want to submit ahead of tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow by 2 p.m. presentation starts. You would have received an email. You would have gotten a call from us to tell you that you've made the cut as one of the top 10. 2 p.m. you start the presentation, and by 5:45 we are done, selected the top winners, and we are done with the event. Okay, so you have 10 hours to solve the case study. We start today at 12 noon, and we end at 10 p.m. Now, in your email, you'd also get a link to join a Slack group. You join a Slack channel. When you see the link, please ensure you join the Slack channel, because we'd share, you can ask questions, you can ask us questions, you'd have representatives to answer your questions. If you're confused about something, you're not very sure about something, you want to get clarification, ensure you join the Slack channels for ease of communication to any of the 10Alytics representatives. Okay, you'd receive an email where you get the case study. You'd also see the link to join the Slack channel. Right now, the judging criteria and what the judges will be looking out for. They've said some of the things they expect to see from you. But number one is the understanding of the case study. How well you comprehend the case study and also interpret what has been given to you. Okay, so we are looking at a particular topic for this edition. Efemina would share that with us, which would share that with us at the end of my presentation, and you'd see what the topic for today, the topic for this hackathon is all about. So how well do you understand the case study? Okay, now going to the second criteria, your eloquence, how articulate and how well spoken, how effectively you communicate your findings. All right, so you'd have worked on this yourself. You'd have solved, built your solution, whatever you've done it. But how well can you communicate that to the judges in a way that is compelling to them? You make your case in a clear and concise manner where everybody can understand what you've presented at the end of the day. The third criteria would be on time management. Of course, you have 10 minutes to present on tomorrow on Sunday, and you have 5 minutes for Q&A by the judges. So sticking to the 10 minutes, managing your time to clearly communicate your findings, your solutions, walk the judges through what you've done would also count as a plus for you. Okay, so effectively manage your time, all right, and ensure you are able to stick to the timeline, because that would be one of the criteria in which you'll be measured by. Now, number 4 is questions and answers and comments by the judges. Now, the case study is individual. You work on it as an individual. You're not expected to work in teams, okay? Now, you'd have questions from the judges. They would have seen your submission, they would have listened to your presentation, and they would ask you questions, they would make comments. Your ability to address those questions, your ability to explain whatever they've asked in a way that clearly shows that you are speaking confidently, you did this yourself, and you can defend what you've done, would also count as a plus for you. All right. Last but not the least is the quality of the insights and recommendations generated. Okay, so again, everybody would have recommendations based on their own perspective and understanding of the case study. Or how well have you been able to structure your recommendations, the insights you've been able to get from the data set? How meaningful are they to the problem itself? Sebastian talked about the ability to tie your recommendations to the problem. Okay, so how well can you do that? That would also be one of the criteria the judges would be looking at. Now, a lot of people would have asked this particular question: who can participate? Can anybody participate? Can anybody win the cash prize? Can anybody be a part of this event? This event is for 10Alytics alumni and current students. So if you're a current student, you've registered for any of our programs, you can participate. If you fall into the category of a 10Alytics alumni, you can also participate, okay? For anybody outside this group, you can also participate to learn, but you cannot win. Okay, so let's take, for example, you have Mr. B, who did not register, did not join any program, but he wants to be a part of something like this. He wants to learn, he wants to solve problems. You can go ahead and do that, okay? But we would, filter those submissions out. We don't expect you to submit anyways, but we would filter those submissions if we get them, and only a 10Alytics alumnus and a current student can win in this event, all right? So all the best to everybody who will be participating. We'll take questions, take questions and answers for the next maybe 10 minutes before we call it a day today. So all the best. You'll be receiving the case studies anytime from now. Once you get it, get to work. You have 10 hours and ensure that you submit right on time. We'll take questions and answers, and then we'll call it a day. Thank you, everyone. I think you want to quickly share the case study before we wrap up.
All right, let me share my screen now. So we can just quickly look at the case study, call it a day. Okay, just be confirmed that, okay, yes. So the case study basically is a deep dive into, Adeza, can you confirm you can see my screen? So perfectly, okay. All right, so the case study is a deep dive into poverty, life expectancy, and GDP. So we always make sure our hackathon follow the SDG, okay? So it's like these are in looking at the timeline is today and tomorrow. You have 10 hours to look at the case study. So that's why the dates 13 and 14 is coming in. All right. So it's a deep dive into poverty, life expectancy, and GDP. So you'll be doing the analysis essentially. All right. There's an introduction that talks about Africa as a continent, okay, and how we have so many rich resources, down to the fact that we're doing so many things, okay, in terms of as continent, but you still see that there's a lot of mismanagement essentially, okay? So the three key indicators that we're looking at is poverty, life expectancy, and gross domestic product, which is GDP, okay? So looking at these three critical indicators, okay, they also are critical standards that are used to reflect the country's economic and social conditions. So they're going to be analyzing the data, okay, to come up with recommendations. Things, just tell us what you know, tell us what you see. In terms of analytics, there are 4 types of analytics: descriptive, diagnostics, and predictive. So if you can do that, that would be fantastic. Show us what you can actually do. All right. So the data set you're going to be getting, you'll be getting 4 distinct data sets. Okay. So the first one is a distribution of population between different poverty thresholds up to $30. Now, the normal standard for poverty is $1 per day. Okay. All right. So, so everything is broken down. And when you get to data set, you get to see the data set, you see it is properly labeled, okay, and it's properly structured to show you, how many people are living between a particular threshold. Okay. So is it less than 30,000, 29 to 30, 29 to 25, so on and so forth. Okay. So you see those distribution across African countries. Okay. Also, the same thing with life expectancy. You get the data set, GDP across different countries in Africa. You would also get the data sets. Then country code, okay? Country code contains all the country codes in Africa alongside the country and some other labels. When you get to see the data, you understand what we're trying to say. All right. So to make it more easier for you to understand the data, we have provided you data dictionaries, okay? So each column has a meaning, okay? So to make it more easy for you to interpret, to come up with recommendations, to understand the data, you would get the data dictionary for you to give proper description to what each column represents. Like I said, The first data is distribution of population between different poverty threshold up to $30. Okay. And when you see this, the first one is country code. You can see the description, a 3-letter code representing the country where the poverty data was collected. So everything is properly labeled and described for you to understand and for you to analyze. Okay. So you can see this is different threshold. So $40, okay, total number of people above poverty line. So $40 is, you have every threshold in there, 30 to 40, 20 to 30, 10 to, so you have the population of people living in each of these particular threshold, okay? So when you get the data, you can work with it, okay? GDP data, you have the country code, you have the indicator name, okay, and you have the years, 1960 to 2001. So you would have the GDP for each country within this particular years, spanning this particular years, depending on the country. All right, some data are available for some countries, some data are not available, but you know how to treat missing data and all that when you get to the data itself. Okay, so we have life expectancy, okay, and you have the country code, you have the year, and you have life expectancy. So life expectancy basically is what's the average number of years a child, when you give birth to a child, what's the average number of years they live before they go the other way. Okay. And the last one is country code. Okay, the country code basically, I won't say it so that all of you, when you see the data, you'll get to understand why the country code is in there. Well, just looking at the structure of the data, you'll know what your country code is used for. All right. The country code basically contains the country code, the country name, the income group, okay, and the region. Okay, so you could use this to do further analysis, so on and so forth. Okay, so now the key thing for this project, okay, is the hackathon itself. Tools to be used. You can use any tool of your choice. Okay, all right. You can use any, if you want to get an abacus, okay, and you want to use your abacus to do the analysis, fantastic. You can use it. If you want to get counters, Nigeria, Africa, counters. If you want to use counters, you can use counters. Anything you can use. So range from Excel, Tableau, Power BI, Python, Spark, whatever tool you want to use, SAS, Stata, whatever you want to use, you are free to use it. Okay, we're not limiting it to any of the tools that you have available. Okay, so presentation criteria, data are spoken on that. Okay, now in terms of presentation, the tool to use. So if you want to present in Power BI, you want to present in Excel, you want to present in the tool that you use for your analysis. It's perfect. That's good. We won't hinder you or limit you to using PowerPoint. So, but if you want to use PowerPoint, fine and good. You can also design your slides, make it as interactive, make it as presentable as possible. All right. If you're using Excel, make sure it is big enough so that people can see your interactions, your visualization, so on and so forth. If you're using Python, make sure you have narrations to describe what you're doing, not just the code. You're putting the narrations of what they mean and what are the things, implications, and so on and so forth. All right. So tools to use any tool at your disposal. Presentation criteria, use any form of any tool also that you want to use, PowerPoint, Excel, Tableau for your presentation. Just ensure that it is in a presentation mode, like you can use it even for presentation. People can see your numbers, people can see your charts properly, so on and so forth. Okay. All right. I did not spoken about the presentation criteria. Okay, but you would also have it in a case study just to reaffirm and easy work. So when you're doing analysis, you're not just doing it without understanding where you're going to. So the key criteria that you need to adhere to are also there. Okay, so you have data analytics, visualization, interpretation, creativity, clarity, impact, and technical ability. Okay, so all these things are put together to reach you on your skill sets. Area of concentration, please provide your recommendation. It's very important. At the end of all these analyses that you've done, what would you recommend to government officials, to government stakeholders in Nigeria and across Africa? All right. Okay, include limitation. If you add more data, what would you do? Okay, so what are the limitations to the data? Okay, and so on and so forth. All right, so be ready to discuss your insights. You need to be able to, present yourself. And I want you, okay, you might not have enough time to go and look at what they did last year, okay? But, maybe after your hackathon, after you've gotten the email that you're part of the first set of people, you can go and look at what people did last year. Improve on your presentation. Presentation matters a lot, okay? So be ready to discuss your insight. And you see the caliber of people that we have as judges. Trust me, these guys are going to drill you. So if you don't know what you're doing or you don't know what you're saying, All right, it's still a learning experience, okay? Because I learned a lot, like Sebastian said, I learned a lot from what people actually did last year, even despite the fact that I've been doing this for a couple of years, okay? So, I want you guys to try. Honestly, there's no harm in trying. Literally, all you need to just try. Just say you participate, just to have it that you participated, even though you're not part of the top 10, be part of the people that participated. Okay. And you never can tell. Okay. The lady that participated last year that won, she said she was intimidated by the number of people that registered. She felt she was not good enough. Okay. And eventually she did the analysis, came up with recommendation, and she took the first position. So don't limit yourself. Don't let your mind be the one to limit you. Try your hands on the data, analyze, visualize, and come up with your recommendations essentially. Okay. And let's hear them tomorrow. Okay. You might just be the one to win the $500, all right, get international recognition, so on and so forth. So that's essentially what we're going to be doing tomorrow, okay? And that's what we're going to be doing today. So if you are part of the alumni, you should have gotten your email already. So check your email box, okay? Check your email, all right, check your spam, check, I don't know, whatever it is, but check your email if you're registered. You should have gotten an email by now, okay? Please click on the Slack channel to join the Slack channel so you can ask your questions. You can ask questions at any point in time. Please ensure you join the Slack channel. So if you're having issues with the data or the case studies, you don't understand something, you can easily send questions to the Slack channel. Please join the Slack channel so we can communicate with one another and questions are being answered in there. Okay. So that's basically the case study, okay? So it's a deep dive into poverty, life expectancy, and GDP across African countries. So I'll be looking forward to see what you guys come up with, honestly, and let's see how we can actually, do a great thing this time around. So thanks a lot for that. All right, quickly, guys, let me see. I have a couple of questions. I'll just take about 3-4 questions quickly so we can call it a day. Technocrat, I'm going to ask you to mute yourself quickly so you can ask a question. Okay, Mustafa says he has got to the case study.
Yeah,
all right, Technocrat, go ahead, please.
Yeah, my question is, are we going to submit the project to the email that sent the data set to us?
All right, so in the email that has been sent, you would see a link for you to register, for you to submit. So there's a submission link. There's a Google link that has been sent out for you to submit your case study. All right.
Thanks. Thank you.
All right. Adeboye is asking, how do I get access to the channel, to Slack channel? Please go to your email. All the information are in the email that went out already. The Slack channel, the link to the Slack channel is in the email. Click on the link and it's going to direct you straightly to the Slack channel. Okay. We don't have any more questions. Okay, please, guys, check your email. Please check your email. All the information they are all in the email. If you at least join the Slack channel so that if you have any questions, you can actually just ask your questions and it's easy for us to move around. Okay. Sadiq, yes, you have a question.
So it's not really a question. It's a comment because I see that a number of people might be kind of discouraged because they feel they're not in the top 10 or they're not going to have the limelights to shine tomorrow and present their presentation. Honestly, the best time to get into a competition is when it's really red hot. And you'll know this if you've been to a lot of those cargo competitions when, it's the first part when the competition first came out, and then maybe the last few hours when the competition is closing. So I would encourage everyone to put in their best. And I promise you, if you're able to get something into shape and make a write-up about it, maybe you have a Medium post and you write about it, I promise you I will read it, I would analyze it, and maybe there is something, after I probably discussed with the organizers, if there's something we can do to kind of do some encouragement. But what I would say is that it is very, very good if you're trying to build your profile, especially at this level. If the competition doesn't give you the platform to present as part of the top 10, it also gives you that platform because you already have their data set. Everyone knows about this competition. So use the opportunity to do your analysis, write about it. The least Medium posts that I've written that I thought would not give me recognition, I've actually had a lot of people from high places look at them and say, you know what, we love what you write, you should continue writing. So please use that as an opportunity, write about it. It also develops not only your speaking ability, but also your writing. So challenge yourself to do that. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thanks a lot for that, Sadiq. Absolutely fantastic. All right. So we won't keep anybody else on the call. All right. We're not going to keep you anymore on the call. Please check your email. Okay. And if you have any question, if you didn't receive any email, please send an email to ifemena@10alytics.io. Okay. Send a message to myself. I'll be looking out for your email. If you've not received the email, or I'm just going to put my email on the chat, okay? All right, send an email to 10Alytics, ifemena@10alytics.io, okay? ifemena@10alytics.io, all right? So I won't keep you guys on the call. The time has started. You have 10 hours to analyze, visualize, and come up with your recommendation, okay? So thanks a lot, and have a great day. Thanks a lot, Michelle. Thanks a lot, Sebastian. Thanks a lot, Sadiq. I really appreciate it. Looking forward to seeing you again tomorrow. All right. Have a great day. Bye, everyone.